So there are many organizations, they are currently facing some ethical challenges related to bring your own device, choose your own device, and multiple other types of devices. The challenge over here that COVID changed many things, including the people perceptions as well. This is my device, and organization cannot tell me that what to install, what not to install, because I'm the owner of this device. And the agenda for today, we will talk about understanding, first of all, what are the key differences. So in a private organization, so for example, I work at Westcliff University back in United States of America. I teach cybersecurity, the US Army and the SEAL Navy officers. Sometimes when they bring their own device to the company, they often ask me a question that you told us that, okay, let's install virtual machine, let's install this software, but who is responsible if a damage will happen? Do I have to install any additional softwares on my system? So my answer to that question is, we have to follow the university policies. You have to sign the policy. If you believe that our policy is not aligned with your goals, then there is no need to install any software regardless who is telling you. Because at the end of the day, if we are not reading the policies and we are just installing some of the critical softwares on our machine, we are responsible. We are the host on our system, we are the end users, we are responsible for any damage. Then we will talk about ethical landscape, challenges, case studies. I have two major case studies, one from Kuwait University, back from Emirates, and then the other one is the ethical challenges faced in Canadian schools as well. Then at the end, if we have any questions, we can share our knowledge further. So first of all, bring your own device. Everyone loves to bring their device. Reason, they feel more comfortable. They know where are the folders. It's more or less like our home. At our home, we know where is the bedroom, where is the kitchen, where is the living room. And that's called bring your own device. Because you know all the softwares you have installed on your system, every single software you have installed on your system, simply listening what you are doing on your system. They have full control on your system because you are allowing someone, a stranger, to come to your home and be a part of your family. And here your family is your device. That is bring your own device. Now choose your own device. In a typical company environment, there are two types of people, technical and non-technical. For a non-technical person, they just need a device. The device which is working, and the device which will not allow them to send up messages on Monday morning that my password is not working. That's the main concern. So in choose your own device, people always have a big dilemma whether I should have Mac OS, Windows, Linux, or maybe in a modernization, we have Ubuntu Parrot operating system. So the people, those who are not technical, they need training as well. That's where user awareness training plays an important role in choose your own device. Because as a user, if this is my first day at work, I will choose the most expensive device from the company. Because I want to click a photo, put it on LinkedIn, put it on WhatsApp, get some likes, comments, right? So then after it comes to corporate on personally enabled. Employees use company-provided devices for both work and personal use. This is one of the critical device I have personally seen in the last couple of years. For example, I'm working at Westcliff University. Now I have a TELUS internet at home. I'm using their email address to connect all of my services, my bank account, my TELUS, and my utility bills. One day I got an email, you are no longer a part of this university. We don't need you anymore. We find somebody better. Because we are replaceable. We are not the permanent human in the company. We are just an employee. An employee could be replaced at any time. Then what happened? I don't know. As a human being, we are complicated, and we don't know which platforms I have used Westcliff University email. Now my data has been compromised. Now I have to be pretty much sure that I should avoid corporate-owned personally enabled device at any circumstances. Because this device you are using for your personal use and the business use at the same time. And you're making the system more vulnerable. You are trying to mix your family, with whom you are living at home, anyone, your brother, sister, your parents, your kids, or your cat and dog. They are a part of a family as well. Now, you went to work, you saw another cute cat or a cute dog, you bring them home as well. What happened? There will be a fight, right? Strangers are coming to your home, and they don't like your approach as well, that you're giving importance to some other people. So over here, we have to make sure that we can avoid this thing, because companies, what they do, AnyDesk and some of the other critical softwares they can install on your laptop. They check your activity every single minute. Micromanagement is in some companies' blood. Oh, you were not at your desk for 10 minutes. Where were you? I saw you that you were drinking coffee for more than 20 minutes. Why is that? That's a company culture. Because somehow our neurocells are working differently. We believe that we are the most important person in the company. Owner is coming and personally saying good morning to me in the morning. That's not going to happen unless and until you are making a lot of money for the owner. Now, the next one over here, we have corporate-owned business only. Sole purpose is the business. Now we have different types of teams over here: on-site, remote, and hybrid. When an employee is working from home, how would you ensure that they are not using the laptop for the personal use? If you're installing any software and you're not getting their personal consent, you're putting the entire liability at risk. You have to make sure your employee aware about what information are you collecting. The definition of authentication and authorization is not just limited to have a critical password or single sign-on or a password management software. It's all about the information you are asking to your employee. Then after, we have corporate-owned single use, a specific task. My role is to provide a technical support to a specific company. That's the only application I can use. I'm not allowed to use VPN. So that's another critical statement. Some of the employees, they got a job. Now they want to move to a country which is cheaper. Enable the VPN. Nobody knows where you are, what you are doing. Company is not going to travel with you all the time, 24/7. Now, the best option, we have a background as well. We can change it. We can turn Edmonton into Vancouver, Vancouver into Toronto. Who knows where we are? So COVID changed the perspective as well, and moreover, the people, how they are thinking and how they are perceiving the information over the given period of time. Ethics matter, and ethical workplace. Ethical workplace. According to me, ethical workplace is the place where people are listening my thoughts. They are believing in me. They listen to me. If company is not listening to me, it doesn't matter whomsoever they are, that place is not ethical to me. It's not about people are respecting. One of the major doubt people have when they call someone a family member at work. Have you ever listened a family member can fire or rehire someone? But it happened. So your place, your workplace is a place where you go, you donate your 8 hours a day. In return, you got mortgage, utility bill, food bill, kids outing, or maybe a sightseeing if we have time in this life. Now, why ethics matter? Every company may have their mission, vision, value statement, and goals written on their website. Do they really follow? Do they really follow? I mean, the most important person who can give a feedback to us is we, as an individual. If we are sitting alone, the company we are working, we can easily provide a critics as well, whether the company listen to me or not. There are two different types of people you can see in a company. One, those who work very hard, and one, those who wait for 5 p.m. We want to go home. Now, some of the ethical concerns we have at bring your own device. Data protection. Companies are struggling. They don't want you to open their critical data on your personal machine, which your kid or your another family member will use later on to play games. Or maybe they will submit that critical data as a school project. Who knows? Then after, employee may not adhere to corporate security policies. Policies, procedures are important, because if we can look into ISO 27000 as well, we have technical controls, physical controls, and managerial controls. Managerial controls are critical. At work, you can set up the policies, but can you set up a policies at home? You're working for the company at home, and when you're working from home, your employee believes that you're free. They can call you at any time. And suddenly, work from home turned into a babysitting job. You have a baby in one hand, you're working as well, or maybe a cat or a dog or anyone. So you have to take care of two people at the same time. So in bring your own device, the main ethical concern over here is the data security. There are 3 ways you can secure your data. Either you have an external hard drive, you can secure your data in your laptop, or you can have data on the cloud as well. One type of data which is also critical in bring your own device, data archive. The data which I don't need it right now, but I may need it in the future. The timeline of data is very important. Then after, we have choose your own device. Decisions about approved devices should be fair and unbiased. It has to be a part of a policy. And this is very important. I think it's a bring your own device issue. Okay, so the next one we have choose your own device. So in choose your own device, make sure your employees understand the policies, which devices are allowed, which operating system they can work. Are they allowed to install VPN? Are they allowed to install any other software? So for example, employee expectation, that's a part of people and culture department in any company. My expectation is that I should have MacBook, latest one, M2 chip, $4,000, $5,000 device, one terabyte solid state drive, because imagination has no limit. We can imagine that maybe next minute we are in Switzerland. So same kind of expectation your employee has it from you as well. So make sure that you have mentioned everything in the policy. And that's also a part of our onboarding process as well. In choose your own device, to make sure if your company has a separate policy for bring your own device as well. I can choose my own device. I think that's the best device I can work on. Then after, we have ethical concern, personally enabled devices. Extensive monitoring, that is very important because as I have mentioned before, you should avoid this device. Because employee will definitely install a software where they can capture each and every moment you are working on that particular device. So you are now criticizing your employee as well that you told me that I can work my personal work over there, but your personal work is not working on Facebook or on LinkedIn. You have signed the policy, and that should be one of the reasons that we can fire you and take a legal action as well. Now, over here, employee using personally enabled devices have a right to privacy in their personal activities as well. So that is one of the reasons people would not prefer or cybersecurity employees to go with personally enabled devices because they have to take care of two different policies, personal policies and the company policies. Then after, negatively impact employee job satisfaction. I have given a device which I can only use, which company can tell me. So in that particular case, I have to make sure that I'm not going to do anything wrong. This is my first job in cybersecurity, and I don't know, I never heard about it, because most of the colleges and the universities in Canada, they are giving theoretical information. And I need practical hands-on experience. I'm pretty new in this company, and I don't have any idea, and now company is putting all these policies on me. I have to read the policies. Then after, this kind of device restrict users to specific task. So, for example, my company give me a Microsoft 365 account, but that account I cannot enable on this particular device because this device is special. That means I need to have another device. If I have an important phone call, important message on the Teams or Microsoft 365 email, I need to check. So you have to make sure that you understand the company policy and the device which you are going to use in all these 5 devices. 2 case studies, next 10 minutes, then we will have QA session. First case study from Kuwait University. This is pretty much interesting. So they have used quasi-experimental research design where they evaluate the people, those who are bringing their own device at the university, or the ones, those who are using college or a university device as well. They realize that the people, those who are bringing their own device, they are much more familiar and they can easily increase their productivity because they are working on their device, and data and security, college or a university doesn't have to provide a separate email to them because they are bringing their device. Even though if you can search on Google as well, Northern Alberta Institute of Technology, bring your own device, you can find an article, I think they have published last month, that Northern Alberta Institute of Technology, they are telling students that you have to bring your own device. Now, students are saying that we are paying this much amount of fee, and we have to buy our own device as well, and we need to bring it, but that's the policy. So now students, they have to read the policy before they will join any college or a university. Because data privacy is not just a college task, it's an individual task as well. It's your responsibility because you are sharing your data with the college. So what are the findings over here? Bring your own device intervention had a statistically significant positive effect on student learning and achievement. I don't have to go through saving my document, opening my Microsoft 365 account, forget to log out. So many other things happen. But if I have my own device, I know that my data is safe. My data is on my computer. There are many people in this world, they never change their Microsoft 365 password. You can ask yourself, when was the last time, or I can ask myself, when was the last time we have changed our Microsoft 365 or Gmail password? And how many times we have opened the same account on a different devices on different people's laptop? My neighbor, my friend, or anyone's laptop. Was I able to log out? Or I just say, okay, he is or she's my best friend, no worries, I know them, and they are not gonna steal anything. Now, this is the case if you are in the security industry, in cybersecurity. What about if you are non-technical and you have never seen a laptop before? You are looking for some help to send an email to your best friend back in Asia, back in Africa, or any other subcontinent. You are happy because you send an email. But that email account could be a potential hacking tool as well for someone who is pretty good in social engineering. They can use as an email phishing tool, as a phishing tool, smishing tool, smear phishing tool. So this is very important in cybersecurity, whom you can trust. The only person you can trust is you. Because many companies, they have enabled, even though Kuwait University as well, security first model. Now CISO is the limelight in the company. CISO is not something we are asking at the end. So he will take the decision, he will understand the policies, adhere all the policies, and make sure the user aware as well, those who are working in the company. Next case study over here, mobility and security in the new way of working, employee satisfaction. The name suggests choose your own device. So I have full 100% privilege to choose my device. So a majority believe their performance would improve when given the ability to choose a device of their own. Let's say a company gave me a device, Mac operating system, MacBook. I have never used MacBook before. I don't know, copy paste is different on MacBook. I'm struggling. I went to technical support team. I'm not a technical member in a team. I'm a, let's say, marketing professional or an accountant. Now I asked them, you know, my keyboard is not working on MacBook. I send a ticket. Even though I escalate this issue as well to many other team members as well, you know, the company systems are not working. During the lunch discussion as well. So rumor is about that this guy just joined the company and telling that the $4,000 MacBook we have given to him, the keyboard is not working. And company finally realized that what they have seen in the resume and what they can see now is totally a North Pole and South Pole. There is no collaboration. So you cannot tell a cybersecurity company, I'm not good with MacBook, please give me a Windows, otherwise I'm not gonna work, it's your choice. But in choose your own device, company has to listen to you because they're giving you this authority. And over there, in this particular study as well, they have taken two Dutch companies, one Finnish company and one US-based company. They find out that 52% employees believe that their performance improved when they have given a choice to choose their own device. Then after, there are few solutions over here. We have employee training. That's a cybersecurity awareness training or user awareness training. Big market for this industry as well, this particular domain in cybersecurity. Then after, data security, to make sure how are we allowed to store our data? Are you allowed to store company's data on your personal device? Again, it dropped down to which device are you gonna use? Then legal compliance. It includes, you can start with HIPAA, you can go with GDPR, you can go with Privacy Act, you can go with PIPEDA, you can go with CIPA, Consumer Privacy Protection Act, you can go with Sarbanes-Oxley Act, you can go with CAN-SPAM Act. So all these acts, it also depends the industry you are representing in cybersecurity. And make sure you understand the compliance part as well. If you're not in a technical part of a team, there is an onboarding session. And usually we tell our best friend to do my onboarding session because I'm busy. They click, 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 next, 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 100 out of 100. We send our certificate to the company and we are done. But that part, onboarding part, is very important. To understand what company is offering to you. Overexcitement sometimes lead to no job in cybersecurity because we need to understand the policies. Now, at the end, we have a QA session. Any one of you, the device which you like it. Let's start with this part, the device which you like it and why. I don't have any $1 million in my pocket, so you can free to answer anything. Yes, so device which you like, anyone. So I can go back and I can highlight that slide as well where we have all the devices. This one.
So currently I have a corporate-owned, personally enabled machine, and I like it because I can quick check my emails, but I try and avoid checking emails because I know they could get searched if, like, potentially the company got into a legal thing. But I like the flexibility of it, so.
No, definitely. Thank you so much. And over here, they sometimes have a software as well to see how long you are productive out of 8 hours. You're working on the company's documents and the company's work. So you make sure like they don't have this software enabled in the machine.
Hi, thanks for this. I'm looking at this list and I'm realizing that my employer uses them all in a way. And that's not bad. I think we consciously use a combination of all of them. For example, staff can choose their own mobile phone or use their own mobile phone if they don't like anything on the list.
Yeah, that's.
For example, our corporate laptops, we're quite liberal with personal use. You know, there's sort of a zero trust kind of model. But also, since I work for a consulting firm, we do work for clients, and often to meet client requirements, we end up with corporate-owned, business-only machines in some cases for some staff, and corporate-owned single-use as well, right? In fact, some of the security incidents that we deal with is when some of our staff have violated the single-use policy.
Single-use policy.
Yeah, anyway.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your answer. And what I understood that there is a segmentation in the company as well. They use hybrid model. So they categorize the people based on their designation, based on their role, and the categorization of all the stakeholders within the company so they can see like whom we can allow which device. Thank you so much. Yes, please.
So one aspect I'm going to mention here is about work-life balance. I have corporate-owned, personally enabled devices, including this one here, but I never use my corporate devices for personal stuff. And that helps me focus on work when I'm at work and play when I'm on play, and not swearing when I'm at work, and being relaxing when I'm on my other computer. And that way I never have to worry about the whole aspect of leakage between those two worlds. And as you go on in your career, the home-life balance separation becomes important. So I'd recommend if you are given a corporately owned personal device, don't use it for personal stuff.
Yes, I think that's a good point. And one more thing in that, if you are the business owner, then might be you are going with a corporate on personally enabled device as well. So anyone else, any comments? Okay, I think, thank you so much. Oh yes, there is a question.
Yeah, thank you for this presentation. So my question is just about you mentioned so much about corporate policies the employee needs to sign during the onboarding process. And from my experience and from my understanding, most organizations actually use to BYOD policies. I've never seen any policies that's mentioned COBO, COSU, COBO. So are you kind of recommending, as a cybersecurity professional, and in reviewing and designing policy for the organization, do you say we should start including these aspects or types of devices into our corporate policies as well, so that employees can understand what they are getting into before they get those devices?
Definitely a good question. So I would say, like, when a company design a mobile device policy, they can start including all these abbreviations as well. So people can understand what does it mean. They can aware the user as well, because at the end of the day, people are the most vulnerable thing in the company, not the password. They are the weakest link in the company. So you have to make sure your people are trustworthy and they understand all the policies as well. Definitely, we can design a policy and a mobile device policy including each of these items. There is one thing I did not mention over here, that choose your own technology. That is also. So choose your own technology. So there are multiple other abbreviations as well. I did not mention to make it a little bit boring as well. So choose your own technology. That people bring their own technology as well. They believe that we are more comfortable, let's say, instead of using WhatsApp. That's not a good example, but small, medium businesses, they use WhatsApp as well. It's free. So instead of WhatsApp, they say, okay, we are more comfortable with Telegram or Signal. So this is the technology I can bring, or something I have developed by my own, and I can bring that technology as well in the company. So, but definitely we can design a mobile device policy, including all these abbreviations, to make sure employee, they understand within the company. And one more thing I would recommend to include in the onboarding process as well. This is very important. It's not like you are sending them a paper via email or they can access online. It has to be a part of our onboarding process.
So another question I have is, so because of the challenge we have to be able to ensure compliance with organizational policy as regards the BYOD and what have you, we've had to rely on the system control by introducing MDM, solutions like Azure Intune. And over time, realized that we have some ethical challenge as regards, users, employees complaining about how am I so sure that you don't have access to my private data, especially when it comes to BYOD, right? And from your experience, what are the ethical challenges and what would you advise in terms of how to handle such situations in terms for employees?
So one of the thing over here, that we have a lot of access to the remote servers as well, where we have a lot of data. We should not try to download the documents and start saving in our personal device, especially bring your own device case policy, because that can raise an issue of a data integrity as well, confidentiality as well. I can easily send that data to somebody else which I don't know, or maybe one of my family member. When I say bring your own device, my device may be used by 10 family members at home. I'm not declaring this thing to the company. I'm not telling them. I just told them that this is my own device. Right? And very few people, they introduce the BitLocker, they introduce the guest users as well, but it's all about technical. So we have a major challenge, the major ethical concern, if I can say in one word, the users, those who are not technical. That is the ethical concern in the mobile device policy. Because you have to teach them, you have to make sure they can understand the process, they can understand the challenges before they will choose their own device or a company device or bring their own device. Any other comments? Okay, so thank you so much for listening to me and spending your quality time over here and precious time, and thank you so much. And feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. If I have your LinkedIn account, I can send you the request. I have over 28,000 connections on LinkedIn, connected in almost a few cybersecurity companies here in Edmonton as well. So my passion, I teach cybersecurity, hands-on, practical cybersecurity. I can turn any laptop in a blue team and a red team exercise in less than 30 minutes. Give it to the student, give the practical hands-on material, now you can work on it. So few of my students, even in the Canadian market as well, their job, what they were doing before they have joined my class, someone is a truck driver, plumber, carpenter. I'm not saying that it's a low level or a high level job. Job is a job, right? But they have decided after COVID that they are more close to their family. They want to do something which they can work from anywhere. And that is the beauty of information technology. You can work from anywhere. You don't have to be in the office. You don't have to go for hybrid. There are lots of American companies, they hire remote jobs, remote employees from Canada. So that's little about me, and thank you so much again for listening to me and joining this presentation.